Hi everyone, in today's video we are going to be talking about mobile numbers and how it can affect your day-to-day life. Let's get started. I am Dr. Mangala Suneri. We all use mobile phones these days. As young as a 1-year-old baby in my house uses my mobile phone, and as old as 70, 80, 90-year-old people use mobile phone, and mobile has become a basic necessity for all of us. Of course, when we have mobile phone, we obviously need a SIM, a mobile number, right? So this mobile number also can define a lot about you, and I am here to tell you everything about mobile phone numbers and how you need to choose your lucky number in order to have success in your life. This video is definitely going to be a very long video, and you guys have to see the video till end to get all the information about mobile phones. I'm going to give you a task, okay? So all you have to do is write down your phone number. If you are in India, obviously it's going to be a 10-digit number. So write it down and add all the numbers and bring it to a single digit number, just like how it is shown on the screen. And this single digit number is very, very important. The number that I have put on the screen is obviously my business number, and that sums to 55. If you add it again, 5 plus 5 is 10 and 1 plus 0 is 1. So the sum of my phone number is 1, obviously a single digit number. So similarly, you guys would have different numbers, right? So I will explain to you which number is lucky for you and which number you need to avoid immediately. So the single digit number, if it is 1, 3, 5 or 6, then they are considered good numbers, or they are considered lucky numbers, lucky phone numbers for you. So the sum of your mobile numbers should be either 1 or 3 or 5 or 6. So 1 is obviously the number of sun, so it gives you a lot of new opportunities, new beginnings. Whatever you do from this number is going to give you a lot of success, right? So 1 is obviously a very good number. Now if you have number 2, if you add your numbers and that sums to number 2, that is a moon number, right? So that will give you a lot of flicker-mindedness, a lot of changes will be there. Whatever you do through that number, like if you want to plan a trip through that number, then that's going to have there's going to be a lot of changes and lot of last moment running around things, flicker-mindedness and all that. So it's better you avoid a phone number that sums up to number 2. Coming to 3 is a Jupiter number, again a good number as I already told you previously. Then 4 is a number of Rahu, and we don't want him to be in our phone numbers because that is going to give you a lot of arguments on call, a lot of fights on call. Let's not have that in our lives, right? So please avoid having a phone number which sums up to number 4. Next, moving on to number 5. 5 is obviously a very good, very stable number. It is a number of Mercury, so a very, very, very lucky number to all. So you can have a phone number that sums up to number 5. Moving on to number 6. 6 is a Venus number, Shukra, all about luxury. You're going to attract a lot of luxury with this number. So this also is a great number to have. Then 7, again this is something that you need to avoid. It is a Ketu number, all right, so it will give you a lot of anxiety, okay, so it's better to avoid that. Moving on to 8. 8 is our Shani number. 8 is Saturn. So Saturn is going to make anything very slow, okay, the process is going to be very slow. Whatever you do with this phone number, the work is not going to happen faster. So there is going to be a lot of obstacles that is never going to end, okay, so please avoid a phone number. Please do not use a phone number that sums up to number 8. And lastly, number 9, that also is not a very successful number, okay, so it's a number of Mars, so it's better to avoid phone number that sums up to number 9. So this is the basic technique of how you need to find out your lucky phone number. And we always love to have a fancy phone number, right? It could be a phone number, it could be our vehicle number. So we always like it to be fancy. Fancy meaning we like it to be repetitive numbers, right? So for example, I myself have my business number which has 3 9s and 3 6s. So yeah, I liked it like that, so I bought it because I believed back then that 9 was my lucky number. So that's why I bought this number which had repetitive 9s. So similarly, you would have your own reasons to buy your repetitive numbers, but that also has a lot of things to do with your luck, right? So nowadays almost everything, every business happens through call, right? So it is very important that your phone number is lucky in order to bring you a lot of luck and success, right? So now I'll be explaining to you the in-depth meanings of repetitive numbers in your mobile number. So now let's talk about repetitive numbers. Number 1. So if you have more than 3 numbers and if they are consecutive numbers as shown here, so this has more effect on you when compared to non-consecutive numbers. Or even if you have non-consecutive numbers and you have say more than 4 or 5 repetitive numbers as shown here, then also the effect is going to be maximum. Alright, so what does number 1 or repetitive number 1 say? So this gives you a lot of ego, attitude problem. So ego and attitude to some extent is good, but if it exceeds the limit, then that's not good, right? So that is what I'm talking about here. And you will have good communication skills. So if you are into sales and marketing, then this repetitive ones in your mobile number is going to be beneficial for you. And you tend to speak fast, okay, so that's that. And if you are in government job, then this suits you very well. Moving on to number 2, repetitive number 2. So what does it say? It gives you a lot of mood swings, depression, and your vibe is kind of low all the time, okay? You may face anxiety issues, you overthink, you become overthinker, you keep thinking about your future, like what may happen tomorrow, what may happen next. So that constant worry is going to be there in your mind, and like what would people think of me? You're always worrying totally, and you are kind of too emotional, and you may also have BP related issues. All right, so the best remedy for you is obviously to change your number, but until you change your number, you can keep chanting Om Namah Shivaya 11 times every day, so that will protect you from all the negatives in your life. So yeah, consecutive numbers more than 3 or non-consecutive numbers more than 5. Repetitive numbers will have more effect, but consecutive two numbers of 2 will have less effect comparatively. Now, moving on to number 3. Number 3 is Jupiter number. So, number 3 is all about knowledge. So, people whose phone number has multiple 3s, especially consecutive numbers, more than 3 3s, or more than 5 3s, a non-consecutive number, is going to be very curious about learning. They like to enhance their knowledge. They are knowledge seekers, and they have that hunger for knowledge. Okay, and they kind of over trust. They are deep thinkers, philosophical to some extent. They prioritize skills and knowledge over money. So for them, knowledge is everything. So it's good to have multiple 3s, of course, especially for people who are into education field, like teachers or lecturers, or people who are into research. Obviously they need to study a lot. They need to enhance their knowledge a lot, right? So for people in such field, it's going to be very good. Moving on to the next number, number 4, which is a Rahu number. So this number we really don't want to have in our phone numbers, because this number brings in a lot of delay at work. It brings in a lot of struggle. It also causes joint pain or gastric problems, or you may experience frequent headaches if you keep using number 4 in your mobile number. So consecutive numbers of number 4 has to be avoided. And now you may ask me that total of my mobile number is say number 1, which is good, but I have repetitive 4s. So what do I do in this case? You have to change. Even though your total is number 1, if you have consecutive 4s, more than 3 4s in your mobile number, then you have to change the number. That's the only remedy I can give you for multiple 4s. Now moving on to number 5. See, number 5 is a Mercury number, okay? It's a good number only. It's a very friendly number, but it is quite lazy. Like, if you use it as mobile number, especially consecutive 5s, then you may tend to feel lazy or lethargic all the time, and you may procrastinate things at times. So it's good for communication, okay? So, and it actually enhances a lot of wealth. It brings in a lot of wealth to you, so that's a good thing. For professions like sales and marketing, if you are into sales and marketing, or say financial advisor, or real estate, then this having repetitive 5s will bring in luck to you. Now coming back to my favorite number, and that is number 6. So number 6 is the number of planet Venus, which means luxury. So it attracts a lot of luxury. If you want to attract high standard of living, or if you love traveling, and if you want to travel more, suppose you want to travel abroad, or you want to explore new places, if that is what your passion is, then you have to buy a phone number that has repetitive 6s, especially consecutive 6s. Alright, but this has its own negative shades as well, okay? So it involves a lot of expenses, so you need to understand your income first in order to have your expenses, right? So even if you have less money you may tend to live king size, so you need to be very careful here. And also you may tend to be dependent on other people. It could be emotionally, physically, spiritually. So people with multiple sixes in their mobile phones tend to be dependent on other people, so this is quite negative. So it's you need to be paying more attention here, because you do not want to be over dependent on other people for anything, right? So try not to be that. And this is good for people who are travel bloggers, or you want to travel, or if you are into traveling agency or things like that, then this number is great for you. That's for multiple sixes in the phone number. Moving on to the Ketu number, that is number 7. Again, not a recommended number to have, especially multiple sevens to have, because that is going to bring in mood swings and slight depression as well. Again, it will bring in internal disturbance. So people who are already experiencing this, please avoid multiple sevens in your phone number, as it may enhance the disturbance, and it may also bring in disturbances in relationships. Okay, you may tend to become an overthinker, and so it's good for people who are into research, just like how I told about number 3, right? So this is good for people into research, as if you have multiple sevens, then you tend to go in depth about whatever you do, right? You want to know everything in depth, and that is obviously good for researchers, right? So researchers, it's good. Also, if you want to get into spirituality, then also it is good. So if you want to have spiritual journey, or whoever is in spiritual journey, for them it is good, as it is more of a philosophical number, so you tend to get into a lot of philosophy. So spiritual journey, it is good, but otherwise it's better to avoid number 7. And now moving on to number 8, which is Saturn number. It will bring delay, it will bring disturbance, it also brings litigation, obstacles, and a lot of delay at work. But this is also a great number. See, every number has pros and cons, right? So is number 8. So number 8, it helps you in building a strong personality, a strong character. It builds a strong willpower within you. Okay, that's a great number, right? So it's good for people who are into land and property, if you're into real estate, because this number is earth element. Okay, number 8 is earth element. So this is good for people who are dealing with real estate, anything that's related to land. And again, professions like law, justice, judge, so any profession related to legal aspects, this number is great for you. So having multiple numbers only for professions like law, justice, or real estate or land and property related profession, it is a good number. Multiple 8 is good. Otherwise, it's better to avoid 8. So overall, if I have to say, the numbers to be avoided are number 4, number 7, and number 8. It's a complete no for you guys, but I've already told you, if you are into a specific profession, then yeah, you can have multiple 4s. It's better to avoid multiple 4s. However, 7 and 8 is still fine. Now moving on to our last number, number 9, which is Mars number. Okay, using multiple 9s may push you into having a lot of debts. You have to be very careful here, and it will give you anger issues, fickle mindedness, and it will also give you blood related issues. Okay, again, a strong willed number it is, so it will give you a strong willpower, just like our number 8. So it's not a bad number to have. Number 9 is not really a bad repeated number to have. It will be very good for rough and tough work like police or army, soldier, or healing professions like doctor, somebody who is into Ayurvedic healing, or any modalities of healing. Okay, so any sort of healing, multiple 9s are good. Again, other professions like gym, if you own a gym, or if you are a bodybuilder, or if you are a trainer or coach in the gym, then this is a great number for you. Also, security agency, so if you own a security agency, or if you are working in a security agency, this number is again very good number for you. So this was it. This was about the 4 numbers and total of the 4 number and repeated numbers. This pretty much explains why I have my number, which has multiple 6s and multiple 9s. So yeah, who doesn't want to attract luxury? Yeah, I would want to attract luxury, so hence my multiple 6s, and I am into a healing profession, so multiple 9s. So you know what, I actually had this number before I got into the healing profession, but this is what destiny is, right? So for people who actually watched my entire video, there is a bonus for you. This information is a bonus information. So any number which has 27 or 72, consecutive 27 or 72, may suffer joint pains or urinary infection, or that related issues, related diseases. So if you are facing any sort of issues like joint pain or urinary diseases, then please recheck your phone number. If you have 27 or 72 in your phone number, of course consecutive 27 and 72, then you have to change your phone number immediately. So this is it about today's video, you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. That is going to give me a lot of motivation to do more videos. Also, please let me know in the comment section what kind of videos you want me to do. I would be more than happy to give out those informations to you. See you on my next video. Until then, take care, stay happy, and always have a grateful heart.